So there's an important lesson that I'm realizing through everything with Charlie Kirk the last 48 hours, or really 24 hours. And that is, life is infinitely precious, and it can be gone in a heartbeat, in a moment, and you don't expect it to go. I mean, Charlie was only 31 with two kids who were younger than even my own children, and that life was taken from him in a heartbeat. It's just completely gone in an instant. No one saw it coming. No one predicted it. I know there's some crazy people who talked trash and made really dark jokes that I wouldn't even consider jokes, but they're trying to be funny in their own twisted way. But nobody really truly saw it coming other than the people who might have been person or people who might have been involved with it. And it would be so easy with this entire thing to come at it and say, oh, they're coming for you next. They're coming for you and your family and your kids, and they're coming for the next political person, whoever they is, this group of people, this person, this archetype of person who's mentally unstable, who resorts to physical violence. It would be super easy to make it that right now. It would be super easy to say they're coming for you next. Even I recently have had my own threats. People reaching out to my wife, threatening me through her, saying that they're going to come for me and she better tell me to shut up and stop talking and quit being a MAGA Republican, even though I'm not a MAGA Republican. I'm not a Republican at all, and I'm not MAGA. I'm right-leaning, I'm conservative, but I'm not a MAGA Republican. But getting death threats, saying they know where I live, they know the town that I live in, and I'm not safe here. I've had people try to break into my own house, and it's a scary thought, and it's easy to go, oh, they're coming for you next. They're coming for us, and to fearmonger and things of that sort. But the important lesson is not the fear. It's not the panic. It's nothing like that. We need to start cherishing life. We need to start cherishing the little life that we have left to live. I'm not going to have every day. I'm not going to have eternity with my family. I'm not going to have eternity with my daughter or my two sons, with my wife. I'm not going to have forever. I can only guarantee right here, right now. There's a lot of things in my life that I've held on to for a long time that have caused brokenness in me. Unforgiveness of my own parents for things in my past. Things like this make those things seem so small. Events like what we are experiencing today make those things look so small. And one thing I really want to stress is that this isn't just about Charlie Kirk. Yes, because Charlie Kirk was I was so close to him. I know I never met him, but the role that he played in my life was so important, and it's life-changing. Though that has been the focus of the national media and the general talking point of everybody around the nation and around the world recently. There's kids who've lost their lives to gun violence, and other politicians, left and right-leaning, who've experienced this fundamental flaw in our current society of political violence and trying to make points with violent action and not words, not talking about it. Going back even 24 years ago today, so many people losing their life in such a tragic way because political statements had to be made. It's tragic. Kids losing their life, whether you're Christian, you're religious or not, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're a Catholic kid being shot up in a school or you are a Democratic politician getting shot up in your own home, or you're Charlie Kirk. All life is equal. And I think that, unfortunately, on the right, that's something that you see is, you'll call out all of this violence on Charlie Kirk, but you'll sweep it under the rug if it's kids in schools. And not everybody is that way, but you'll even suppress things by saying that those lives don't matter. And I think it's something that even Charlie, unfortunately, could have articulated a little bit better, that he almost made it seem like he didn't care about those lives. And I know the kind of guy that Charlie was, and I've watched his content for a long time, and I know he cares about those lives, but you can articulate it in such a more profound way that, sad. It's so sad that those lives are lost, but it's all tragic. It's all tragic. And See, I don't even know how to articulate the unfortunate reality of the situation we are in any better than he might have. It's hard seeing kids get shot and killed and politicians getting shot and killed, and seeing the political climate that we're in. It's dangerous and it's scary. And while we want to preserve the right for citizens to protect themselves, and even I am a Second Amendment American, and I believe that we should be able to protect ourselves and own weapons and defend ourselves, and there shouldn't be life-threatening obstacles in the way of me obtaining a firearm. There is something to be said about even saving those little kids, that mental health needs to be a consideration. It needs to be a factor. There needs to be something that's done. We can't just sit by and see kids die, see politicians die, see fathers and husbands die. All of this happening, it's reminded me that life is so precious. The things that I've held on to for so long, like bitterness with my friends and family, like my own mom and dad, and friends that I might have had in the past. Holding on to bitterness gets us nowhere. Is that what I want to be remembered between the two of us? My mom and my dad, my friends, my own wife, getting into silly arguments, and then you realize how small they are. Life is so precious, and the things that we hold on to and value, some of it's good, but some of it, does it really matter? At the end of the day, like, what are we valuing? Are we valuing God first and foremost, then our friends and family, the people closest to us, and then our fellow Americans, and then the people beyond that? Like, are we following a hierarchy that first and foremost is my God, then my family, then my friends and family and my community, like extended family and my community, and then is there that hierarchy that you're doing everything you can to start with the people closest to you and love and adore those people to the deepest depths of your heart? I don't see a lot of people doing that, and I haven't. And I think that's something we can all do better. Is if we want to see a change in our nation, it doesn't start with us being Charlie Kirks up at the top. It doesn't start with us reaching the top of the government and working its way down. It starts with first having really strong relationships with God that create good fathers, good mothers, good husbands and wives, which then creates good family structures and kids that grow up to be the same thing. And if you've got good family structures, you have a good community of people around you. If you have the right friends and you're really following Christ the way you should have people around you that do the same thing for you and for their families and their communities. And eventually you have a strong city and a strong state and a strong federal government because you started from the ground up. You can't start from the top. The serenity prayer comes to mind, that God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That is so profound. I find myself speaking that day in and day out, that the only thing I can change is right here, right now, in this moment. What are the things I can change? I can't stop violent shooters from killing people across the country. I can't do that. Now, I can advocate for something grander. The people who can do something, I can advocate for that. But it starts with me loving my wife, seeing my kids seeing me love my wife deeper and deeper every day. Me looking at my daughter today and saying, look, I know I haven't been the best. She's 5 years old going on 6. Like, I want to love you better. And I'm sorry if I haven't. And I want to love my boys better. I want to love my friends better. I want to love deeper and deeper. And I want each interaction I have to impact people more and more and more. So that hopefully my family impacts other families and our community together that we form impacts other communities. And maybe if enough of us do that, we can actually see some fruit from it and see some change, see some people grow, see our nation change. We can't change our nation by radicalizing and trying to take down other politicians, by immediately jumping for the biggest, grandest thing we can do. It just can't happen. There's the narrative of united we are strong, but divided we're weak. That we can't be strong by just trying to be a strong individual, The reason Charlie Kirk did so well, for example, is he had a community. He had an organization of people just like him, that he built a community around this thing. From the ground up, he built it strong with his family and the people around him, the people closest to him, and he loved those people greatly. And that's how we win. That's how humanity wins. By letting Christ transform you from the ground up, your families, your friendships, your mother, your father, the people around you, and then maybe your communities. And you can't change the world overnight with some grand gesture. It's one stone overturned, one footstep at a time. We got to change the narrative through what we do in our day-to-day lives right here, right now, with the people closest to us. That's how we see a turning point. That's how we change the narrative.